Let me ask you something. When you walk into your living room or open that closet you haven't touched in years, do you feel peace? Or do you feel that quiet, heavy weight of clutter staring back at you? For so many older women, clutter isn't just about mess. It's about memories. It's about guilt. It's about the quiet fear of letting go. And yet, holding on to too much can quietly rob you of your freedom, your space, and even your health. Studies show that clutter increases stress, raises blood pressure, and even makes daily living harder as we age. And here's the truth. You don't deserve that. This video isn't about some impossible minimalist dream. It's not about forcing you to throw everything away. It's about no-stress secrets, gentle, practical methods tailored for senior women in 2025. Strategies that respect your memories, your energy, and your lifestyle, while giving you back your space, your calm, and your joy. Because let's be honest, 2025 isn't the same as when you were in your 40s or 50s. The world is faster, the spaces are smaller, and safety matters more than ever. That's why these declutter secrets are designed for today. But before we dive in, I want to pause for a moment. If you're watching this and thinking, yes, I want more peace. Yes, I want to breathe easier in my own home. Then why wouldn't you subscribe right now? This channel is built for women like you, for seniors, for caregivers, for families who want to live lighter and longer. And if you're not ready to hit that button, I want you to tell me in the comments. Why not? I truly want to know. So, take a deep breath with me. Imagine a home where every corner feels lighter, every step feels safer, and every room whispers calm instead of chaos. That's where we're headed today. These are the no-stress declutter secrets for older women in 2025. Let's begin. Secret number 1. The 10-minute joy check. Here's the truth. Many older women avoid decluttering because it feels overwhelming. The thought of emptying closets, digging through drawers, and deciding what to keep or toss in one exhausting marathon. It's enough to make you close the door and walk away. And that's exactly why clutter piles up year after year. But here's the secret. You don't need a marathon. You just need 10 minutes. The 10-minute joy check is simple. Set a timer for 10 minutes, choose one tiny space, and ask yourself this. Does this item bring me joy, safety, or purpose in my life right now? If the answer is no, it goes in the donation or discard pile. Why 10 minutes? Because 10 minutes never feels overwhelming. You don't dread it. You don't feel guilty for not finishing. Instead, you feel accomplished. Every small win builds momentum, and over time, your home transforms. Let me share a quick story. A senior lady I'll call Helen once told me she had a kitchen drawer she avoided for years. It was stuffed with old receipts, expired coupons, pens that didn't write, and mystery keys that unlocked who knows what. She tried to ignore it, but every time she reached for a spoon, she felt that stress. One morning, she decided to try the 10-minute joy check. She set a timer, dove into that drawer, and by the time the buzzer went off, she was laughing. Why? Because she realized half of what was in there had been stealing her peace for no reason. That tiny drawer became her victory, and it gave her the courage to tackle the next drawer, and then the next. That's the beauty of this method. It's not about speed, it's about steady, gentle progress. And the truth is, 10 minutes a day turns into over an hour a week. That's more than 60 hours a year of quiet, no-stress decluttering. Imagine what your home would look like if you gifted yourself that time. And let me loop this back to you. You've been meaning to declutter, haven't you? You've told yourself you'll start one day, but the thought of doing it all feels too heavy. So I'll ask you, why not try just 10 minutes today? Start with the drawer by your bed, or that corner of your closet. One space, one timer, one victory. Because peace doesn't come from doing everything at once. It comes from taking that first small step. Now, once you've gotten comfortable with your 10-minute victories, you'll notice something. Your home looks lighter, but what about your safety? That's where secret number 2 comes in, and it might just save you from a painful fall that could change your independence overnight. Secret number 2, the gentle safety sweep. For many older women, clutter isn't just about untidiness, it's about risk. Every year, thousands of seniors suffer serious falls at home, And many of those falls are caused by something as small as a misplaced shoe, a stack of magazines, or an electrical cord running across the floor. And yet, we don't always see these dangers because we live with them every day. The gentle safety sweep is about reclaiming your safety without stress. Here's how it works. Once a week, walk through your home slowly, as if you were visiting it for the very first time. Look down at the floors. Look around the walkways. Look at corners where clutter tends to build up. Ask yourself, could I trip over this? Could someone else? Would moving this make my home safer? I remember speaking with a senior woman, 72 years old, who told me she used to keep baskets of books by her favorite chair. To her, it felt cozy. But one evening, she caught her foot on the corner of one basket, stumbled, and nearly fell. She was lucky, it was only a bruise that time. But she admitted, through tears, that it scared her. She realized her clutter wasn't just clutter, it was a hazard. After that, she began her weekly gentle safety sweep, and her confidence in moving around her home returned. You see, decluttering isn't just about neatness, it's about protecting the independence you worked so hard to keep. Every item you remove from a walkway is one less chance of a hospital visit. Every stack you tidy is one more layer of peace. Now let me pause here. If you're watching this and nodding your head, thinking, yes, I know I should do this, but I keep putting it off, let me ask you something. Why haven't you subscribed yet? This channel is here for women like you, for seniors, for caregivers, for families who care about safe, simple living. If you don't want to subscribe, tell me why in the comments below. I'd really love to understand. But if you do hit that button, know this, every week, you'll receive one more gentle step toward a calmer, safer life. And here's the loop. Once you've cleared your pathways and made your home safer, you'll start to notice something else. The real emotional weight often isn't in the piles on the floor, it's in the sentimental items tucked away in drawers and closets. And that brings us to secret number 3, a method that helps you honor your memories without letting them overwhelm your space. Secret number 3, the memory box method. One of the hardest parts of decluttering, especially for us as we grow older, is facing sentimental items. These are the things tied to our children, our marriages, our travels, and even loved ones we've lost. A scarf that belonged to your mother. A graduation card from your child. A trinket from a long ago trip. You pick it up and suddenly you're back in that moment. And so you put it back down, telling yourself, I can't let this go, not yet. But here's the truth. Your memories don't live in the objects. They live in you. And that's where the memory box method helps. Instead of scattering sentimental items all around the house, taking up drawers, closets, and storage bins, give yourself permission to choose 1 or 2 beautiful boxes. These boxes will hold only the most meaningful items that tell your story. The rest, you can bless and release. I once spoke with a widow who was drowning in her late husband's belongings. Every shirt, every tool, every note felt like a piece of him. But she realized she couldn't live in a house that felt frozen in time. With tears in her eyes, she began the memory box method. She saved his wedding band, a few handwritten notes, and one well-worn flannel shirt. She placed them carefully into a box she kept on her nightstand. And when she missed him, she would sit with that box, hold those treasures, and let herself remember. She told me later, that little box gave me freedom. I no longer lived in the past, but I carried it with me in a way that didn't weigh me down. This method gives you both release and remembrance. You honor the memory, but you also reclaim your home. And every time you open that box, it feels special, because you've chosen the very best of the best. Now, let me loop this back to you. Think of one sentimental item that's been hard for you to part with. Could you place it in a memory box, instead of letting it get lost among piles of clutter? Could you choose quality over quantity? And while you're thinking about that, if you still haven't subscribed yet, let me ask you something gently but directly. Why not? If these stories speak to your heart, and you know that clutter is stealing your peace, then subscribing means you'll never face it alone again. And if you decide not to, please tell me in the comments below. What's holding you back? I genuinely want to know. Because when we face clutter with compassion, it's not about things, it's about healing. And once you've given your memories a safe home, what's next? It's learning how to manage the endless flow of stuff that still enters your house. And that's where secret number 4 comes in, a trick that stops clutter before it even starts. Secret number 4, the one in, one out rule. Clutter doesn't only come from the past, it sneaks in every single day. A new blouse you bought on sale. A magazine you didn't want to miss. A kitchen gadget you thought would make life easier. And little by little, the piles grow again, undoing all the progress you worked so hard for. That's where the one in, one out rule becomes your best friend. It's simple, but powerful. For every new item that enters your home, one old item must leave. Buy a new sweater. An older one goes to donation. Get a new mug. An older one leaves the cabinet. This rule keeps balance, so your home never tips back into clutter. I remember a senior woman telling me she used to buy new scarves every year. She loved the colors, the textures. But her dresser drawers were overflowing, and she felt guilty every time she opened them. When she adopted the one in, one out rule, she set a boundary for herself. Every new scarf replaced one old scarf. Within months, her drawer closed easily, and she felt joy, not shame, when she looked inside. She laughed and said, "For the first time in years, I feel in control of my stuff." This rule isn't about deprivation, it's about dignity. It says, I deserve a home that feels fresh, but not crowded. It gives you permission to enjoy new things without letting them take over your space. And here's where I'll loop back to you. Think about the last item you brought into your home. Did something leave to make space for it? If not, you're not alone. Most of us don't think that way. But if you start practicing this rule, even gently, you'll notice how much lighter your home feels over time. Now, I need to ask you something important. If you've been nodding along, agreeing with me, feeling those little sparks of recognition in your heart, why haven't you subscribed yet? If you know these secrets can make your life calmer, safer, and more joyful, then clicking that button is just common sense. And if you don't want to subscribe, please, tell me in the comments below why not. I read every comment, and I care about your answers. But don't forget, your subscription could be the nudge that helps another woman, just like you, take that first step toward freedom. And once you've mastered the one in, one out rule, you'll notice something else. Decluttering stops being about things, and starts becoming about energy. About what you allow into your life, and what you release. And that takes us into secret number 5, where we'll explore the surprising link between clutter and peace of mind. Secret number 5, the peace corner reset. Decluttering doesn't always mean tackling the whole house at once. In fact, that's where most women get overwhelmed. They look around, see decades of things, and feel paralyzed. But here's the secret. You don't need to fix everything in a single day. You just need one corner. I call it the peace corner reset. Choose one small space, maybe a chair by the window, a bedside table, or a spot at the kitchen counter. Clear it. Remove everything that doesn't belong. Dust it, wipe it, refresh it. And then place only the essentials or the things that bring you true joy back into that space. I remember visiting an older woman who was drowning in clutter. Every room felt heavy. But she told me, I made myself one small corner. Just a chair and a lamp. When I sit there, I feel calm. It reminds me what peace feels like. That little space became her anchor. Slowly, she expanded that peace to other parts of her home, but it all began with one reset corner. Why does this work? Because clutter is not only physical, it's emotional. And when you carve out one peaceful corner, your brain starts to believe, this is possible. I can do this. It shifts you from overwhelm to empowerment. Now, let me ask you, what would your peace corner look like? A cozy chair with a blanket. A shelf with only your favorite books. Maybe a small table with a family photo and a candle. And while you're picturing that, let me pause for something important. If you're finding value in these secrets, if you're imagining how your own life could be lighter, calmer, and more joyful, then why haven't you subscribed yet? If you don't want to, please, comment below and tell me why. But if you do, clicking that button ensures you'll never miss the next secret that could change your life. Because decluttering isn't about giving up your things, it's about gaining back your peace. And once you have your peace corner, you'll notice something surprising. Decluttering won't feel like punishment anymore. It will feel like self-care. And that's what leads us directly into secret number 6, where we talk about making decluttering sustainable, not just for today, but for every season of your life. Secret number 6, the seasonal reset strategy. Have you ever noticed how the seasons naturally invite change? Spring brings freshness, summer calls for lightness, autumn carries nostalgia, and winter invites warmth. Just as the seasons change outside, our homes, and our hearts, can change with them. The seasonal reset is about using these natural shifts as gentle reminders to declutter. Instead of waiting until things pile up, you let the seasons guide you. In spring, you let go of the heavy layers and expired items hiding in the back of cabinets. In summer, you simplify, keeping only what feels light and easy. In autumn, you reflect, passing on items that no longer serve you. And in winter, you prepare for comfort, keeping only what makes your space feel safe and warm. One woman I spoke with told me she used to dread the thought of decluttering. But when she tied it to the seasons, it became almost ritual-like. She said, "Each season, I let go of what doesn't belong in my life anymore. It feels natural, like turning a page." Instead of pressure, she found rhythm. This method also prevents overwhelm. Because you're not decluttering the whole house in one go, you're gently refreshing as life naturally shifts. Over time, your home feels alive, not stagnant. Now let me ask you, doesn't that sound doable? Doesn't it feel easier to clear a few things with each season than to wait for chaos to build? And if you've been nodding your head, quietly agreeing with me, why not hit that subscribe button? If you're truly serious about finding peace in your space, subscribing ensures you'll always have the next step, the next secret, the next encouragement. And if you choose not to, then I want you to comment below and tell me why. Because here's the truth, you deserve this journey, but only you can choose it. And here's the beauty. Once you embrace the seasonal reset, decluttering doesn't feel like work anymore. It becomes part of life's rhythm, like opening the windows in spring or putting on a warm sweater in fall. It reminds you that your home is not just a container for things, it's a reflection of your life seasons. And as we move forward, that brings us to our final secret. Secret number 7, the legacy declutter mindset, where decluttering stops being just about today and starts being about what you leave behind tomorrow. Secret number 7, the legacy declutter mindset. At some point, decluttering stops being about cleaning shelves or organizing closets. It becomes about legacy, about the story your home tells when you're no longer here to tell it yourself. Many older women I've spoken with have admitted something quietly: I don't want to leave my children with this burden. The burden of boxes filled with things no one remembers. The burden of sorting through items that were never explained, never shared. That's where the legacy declutter mindset comes in. It asks, what do I want to be remembered for? What story do I want my home to tell? Instead of saving everything, you save the things that carry meaning, the photo album, the letters, the recipe cards. You let go of the duplicate mugs, the broken gadgets, the clothes you'll never wear again. Because your loved ones don't need every item. You are not your clutter. What they truly want is the essence of you, preserved in a few chosen treasures. I'll never forget the story of a senior lady who spent her last few years intentionally decluttering. She called it her gift of love. She said, "I don't want my children to grieve and sort at the same time. I want them to walk into my home and feel peace." When she passed, her children said it was the most loving gift she had ever given them. That's what the legacy declutter mindset is. It's not about death, it's about dignity. It's about taking control of your story, instead of leaving chaos behind. And now, I'll ask you directly. If this message touched you, if it stirred something inside you, why haven't you subscribed yet? If you don't want to, then please tell me why in the comments. But if you do, clicking that button ensures these stories, these lessons, and these reminders reach more women like you, women who deserve peace, not clutter. Because here's the truth, decluttering is not just about your things. It's about your freedom, your joy, and your legacy. And you don't have to wait another day to begin. Start with one corner, one drawer, one decision. And with each step, you'll feel lighter, freer, and more at peace with the life you're living, and the legacy you'll leave behind.